morning, everyone. Well, speaking to you to be honest with you, I'm actually in Paris, although I live in London and work in London, but I'm on a short break here. But thankfully, with technology, we can all join in from anywhere. So thank you, David. Thank you for the introduction. Again, I'm pleased and honored to be a part of this distinguished panel, and hopefully to be reaching a far-reaching audience. So my name is Bimpe Nkontchou, and I'm going to quickly answer David's question. Basically, why a family office? That's the question, right? Why are we even talking about this concept? Now, this concept is probably quite new on the continent, but I have to say it's the reason why there's so many families of wealth in other parts of the world that have survived for many, many generations. And as far as I'm concerned, it's about time, we on the continent also got in on the act in preserving our wealth and building our wealth and having a structure that will pass the wealth to the next generation. So really, let's look at the family office. I would say the landscape. Again, taking it from, I would say, those who've done it in a very advanced way. You can talk about pretty much about any strong brand that that you use, whether you own a Gucci bag, whether you bank with JP Morgan, whether you have gone to a museum. In the UK, we've got the Sainsbury's Museum, we've got Tate, the Sainsbury wing in the museums, we've got Tate Museum. And those are all family names. The shoes we wear, if you wear Clark's shoes, if you shop at Walmart in the US, and possibly any of Walmart's subsidiaries across the continent, that's a family name. And Cadbury is the chocolate we eat, and many of the families have existed for many, many generations. So really, when we're thinking about why wealth families rely on family offices, I think the answer is because it's their one-stop shop. It's their holistic structure, the way in which they consolidate their wealth, in a way in which they have the means of managing their wealth in a sort of very strategic way. Managing the acquisition of the wealth, we heard about the Flick family earlier on. He worked very hard, acquired a lot of wealth, but as time went on, he realized that perhaps the best thing was to liquidate it. But in liquidating and even owning a lot of money, a lot of assets, you find that you can't rely on your executive assistant in your company or your CFO in your company. You actually do need to have an independent team around you. Sometimes it's a team that's dedicated to just your family, and sometimes it'd be a team that has many families. I mean, I run AA Advisory, so just like Regal Africa, it's a multi-family office platform. And basically what we do is look after families of wealth across the African continent, many of whom have footprints in the UK, in the US, across the world, literally. And again, when you're a family of global wealth, it's difficult sometimes to keep track. Whilst you're busy making the money, you find that you can develop, a team around you that can keep track of where your money is, who's looking after it, whether it's doing well or doing badly. Again, the succession planning around that is very, very important. So I think those are just my own, I would say, inputs as to why a family office is necessary. Yes, it's probably still a new animal on the African continent, but just like Anne mentioned earlier, we're seeing that the African continent is a place that's generating a lot of wealth. Families are becoming wealthier. I think the interesting statistics I picked up, where we've got currently about 145,000 HNIs holding about 800 billion of assets on the African continent. And this is apparently estimated to grow by about 30% by 2023. The countries that are the main hubs are South Africa, Kenya, you got to know, and Nigeria, where I'm from. And so it's actually, I would say, responsible for those families, especially if they want to see their family brands, especially their businesses and family assets survive, create a legacy for the long term. It's necessary to start having a structure of advisors around them. And that's what a family office is, a structured team of advisors.